Hey there, beautiful souls. Welcome to Vibes and Victory. This is going to be your weekly inspirational message. So for each sign, I am going to pull two cards. The first card is going to come from the Gratitude deck. So this is an inspirational card deck and guidebook, and it has 64 illustrated cards. This one does not say who it is illustrated by, but this is the box. And then we're also going to pull one card from the How to Love Yourself card deck. Actually, maybe we can do two cards from here and one card from the Gratitude deck. So I hope the audio is very good this week. I have a new microphone to try to make the videos be as good as possible. So let me know in the comments what you think. So we're going to start with Aries. Each of the signs will be time stamped. So definitely check out the timestamp if you want to listen for your sun, moon, rising, Venus, whatever you feel like. These are inspirational messages and a little advice on how to love yourself for this upcoming week. So starting with Aries. So you make sure I have the cards oriented properly. So I'm going to shuffle 3 times. I always like to see the shuffling. Let me know what you think. And also leave a comment and let me know if the message resonates with you and for you. All right, so I'm going to pull from the bottom. So this one is reflection. So for reflection, we have, I made it up here on this bridge between starshine and clay, my one hand holding tight, my other hand. Come celebrate with me that every day something has tried to kill me and has failed. So that's a really nice quote from Lucille Clifford. Recall your nearest to death experience. What a miracle that we continue through these times. So this is something to reflect upon and possibly be grateful for. Recall your nearest to death experience. What a miracle that we continue through these times. So that might be something that you want to reflect upon this upcoming week. Really, every day can be definitely a gift of life. When I read that, I immediately thought of a car wreck that I was in many years ago. So a little bit grim of a message, but we definitely need those reminders to be thankful and grateful. This is, like I said at the beginning, the Gratitude deck. So definitely a little morbid, but definitely something to think about, to be reflective upon and be grateful for. So we are also going to pull 2 of these. My shuffling is a little off today. 2 of these How to Love Yourself cards. So I think I'll pull from the top and from the bottom. Okay. So the card at the top is this one. The card at the bottom is this one. There we go. So the one at the top. I release all blame and turn within to seek the truth. I release all blame and turn within to seek the truth. And I am free and at peace. I am free and at peace. So this week you may want to think about something, maybe if it's not near death, but something traumatic or frustrating or disappointing even. Think about something that you can release that has been bothering you, that has been really weighing on your soul. And reflect upon it, do some journaling, and get to the point where you see a way forward where you can possibly be at peace. So that was your message for this week. Let me know if it resonated with you in the comments. Thank you so much. And so I am going to move on to Taurus. So for our Taurus friends, let's shuffle 3 times. Okay, what do we have for Taurus? What do our Taurus friends need to hear? So, we have another reflection card. So, Aries also had a reflection card. This one says, "Thank you is the best prayer that anyone could say." And that is a quote from Alice Walker. Today, find a way to thank someone who has been there for you when you most needed it. Find a way to thank someone who has been there for you when you most needed it. So that is a beautiful reflection card. That is like a live action reflection card. Sometimes I think of the word reflection meaning that it's something that happened, something happens to you and then later you think about it or later you reflect upon it. But saying thank you to someone can be as simple as, the person who holds the door for you at the store. It can be what I'm calling live action, not something that you have to reflect upon later. So I'm going to shuffle one more time. I'm going to practice my shuffling this weekend. I don't know. I have butterfingers today. Okay. So the best shuffle I've had all day so far. So I'm going to take the top one and the bottom one. All right. So we have, everything I do is a choice. So I am in control of my reality. Everything I do is a choice. So I am in control of my reality. And we also have, I am aware that I am pure consciousness. I am one with all life. I am aware that I am pure consciousness. I am one with all life. So what are some things that you have possibly chosen or that you're aware of that you can be thankful of? Something that you made a really deliberate choice to bring into your life that has possibly worked out. Could be a relationship, a pet, a new anything. I mean, it can be anything really. But if I was to try to make a story out of these 3 cards, I would think, what is something this week that you can be really thankful of that you chose to bring into your life? Something that contributes to your positive experience, that makes you feel connected to yourself or to other people. So that's your message for this week, Taurus. I hope you enjoyed. I hope it was impactful for you. So we're going to move on to Gemini. All right, for my Gemini friends, let's get a card for you. What do we need for our Gemini friends as an inspirational message for the upcoming week? What do we need for our Gemini friends for an inspirational message for the upcoming week? So we have an affirmation card, and this one says, there are only 2 ways to live your life. One is as though nothing is a miracle. The other is as though everything is a miracle. So that is a quote from Albert Einstein, smart guy. List 3 ways in which today will be miraculous. Do you know a miracle when you see one? So I'm going to read that again. List 3 ways in which today will be miraculous. Do you know a miracle when you see one? In my opinion, life itself is a miracle. Even though it is very challenging, it is still a miracle nonetheless. So you might, just as a suggestion, challenge yourself to, throughout the week, maybe every day or like 3 days of the week, to list out 3 things that you consider miraculous. It can be anything. I immediately thought of some things that people may consider as trivial, but it doesn't always have to be very, very big life-changing type of things that we consider to be miraculous. So what are 3 things? Try it out over the week or even for just today. What are some things that you consider to be miraculous? So let's take the top and the bottom card. So the top card, life is very simple. I create my experiences by any thinking and feeling patterns. What I believe about myself and about life becomes true for me. I'll read this one more time. Life is very simple. I create my experiences by my thinking and feeling patterns. What I believe about myself and about life becomes true for me. That is a really, really great affirmation. I was watching an inspirational message earlier today, and it was very similar to that. Lifetime after lifetime, I am a shining spirit of beautiful light. Lifetime after lifetime, I am a shining spirit of beautiful light. This is so lovely. So, with these cards, I feel like this is just calling you to be very mindful this upcoming week and to think about the things that are you consider very good in your life. Maybe the word miraculous might feel big, but what are some things in your life that you can think about this week that are very good? What are some things that you would like to call in to go with the goodness that you already are feeling? And perhaps you, being a shining spirit, how can you be a small miracle to someone else this upcoming week? So that very beautiful, touching message. I really like this little read. Okay, thank you so much, Gemini. So we're going to move on to Cancer. Hello, my Cancer friends. How are you doing? I hope you are having a lovely day, and I hope you have a beautiful upcoming week. So shuffle 3 times to see what our Cancer friends need to hear. Okay, just one more time for our Cancer friends. What do they need to hear? Okay, so for our Cancer friends, we have a reflection card. And this one is okay, so we're gonna shuffle 3 times for our Cancer friends. Hello, Cancer. How are you guys doing? What do we need to hear for our Cancer friends? Okay, so for our Cancer friends, we have an inspiration card. So we have this. In my dialogues, there are no answers, but sometimes a question is the flash of an answer, and that is from Edmund Jabez. Allow yourself to ask questions today. What does your mind search for? Delight in your ability to learn and transform. Allow yourself to ask questions today. What does your mind search for? Delight in your ability to learn and transform. So that is a pretty clear message to give yourself the space to ask some questions this upcoming week. What do you have questions about? I constantly have questions about myself. My mind wants to know about my mind. What does your mind want to know about? It's a very interesting card. What do you have questions about? So let's get 2 of the How to Love Yourself cards. Let's take the top and the bottom. I use my words and thoughts as tools to shape my future. I use my words and thoughts as tools to shape my future. It is my birthright to express myself in ways that are fulfilling to me. It is my birthright to express myself in ways that are fulfilling to me. So what do you have questions about? What are some things that you're curious about that you perhaps could use the answer to start to shape your future, to start to express yourself in a different way? Are you interested in a new hobby? Do you have questions about what it would take to start your own business or to start a new hobby? We don't have to monetize everything that we're interested in. I have to remind myself of that all the time. But yeah, so this upcoming week, think about some things that you have questions about, that you want to learn about, things that you want to work into your life that would give you more fulfillment or just make you feel happier. As simple as that. So I hope that you enjoyed this message, Cancer. Thank you so much for being here with me. So now we're going to move on to our Leos. So Leos, what do we have for our Leo friends? What do we have? What message about gratitude and inspiration do we have for our Leo friends? What message or affirmation do we have for our Leo friends? All right, Leo. So we have an affirmation card, and this one says, to be balanced, to be without either peaks or troughs. Do tell me what that is like. That is a quote from C. Dale Young. Thank yourself for your amazing ability to change and to embody different states of being. This is part of your personal wisdom. You are never stagnant. Thank yourself for your amazing ability to change and to embody different states of being. This is part of your personal wisdom. You are never stagnant. That is absolutely lovely. So that's a really, really beautiful affirmation, just to thank yourself for getting through whatever you have been through. I'm sure it has not all been that great, but to thank yourself for getting through it and to acknowledge that you are still whole no matter what your state of being is. I feel like the quote at the top, of course, it's a little bit sarcastic in case you didn't pick up on it, but it's a little bit sarcastic, asking like, if you are always the same, always experiencing the same emotion, please tell me what that's like, because there's no way that that's true. So that's something nice to think about, thanking yourself for how you are whenever, whatever's going on. Okay, so we have Life is very simple. I create my experiences by my thinking and feeling patterns. What I believe about myself and about life becomes true for me. And then at the bottom, we have, my mind is a powerful healing tool. My mind is a powerful healing tool. So both of our Love Yourself cards are about how your thoughts and your feelings really affect your emotions and how you can use those as a tool to influence your life. And then this card is just thanking yourself for being there for yourself. Not that you could be anywhere else maybe, but being there for yourself when you are going through change. So reading these all together, what can you not only thank yourself for this upcoming week, but how can you use how you interact with your mind and your feelings and your emotions? How can you use all of that energy to be a powerful healing tool for yourself? That is a really deep question, something to think about, maybe journal about over the next 7 days. That's a really beautiful message for my Leos. And we're going to move on to the Virgos. Thank you so much, Leos, for being here with me. And now for my Virgo friends. All right, for my Virgo friends, what do my Virgo friends need to know or hear for the upcoming week related to an affirmation or reflection or some inspiration? All right. So for my Virgo friends, thank you so much again for being here with me. You have an inspiration card. There are always flowers for those who want to see them. I love that so much. This is a quote by Henri Matisse. He is a French painter, if I'm not mistaken. Take a moment to appreciate a small success. Every moment is sacred. Take a moment to appreciate a small success. Every moment is sacred. I think sometimes my Virgo friends get the bad rap of constantly trying to seek improvement. And that's a stereotype. It may not apply to you. But if you do feel like you sometimes deal with not being in the moment enough to really appreciate how things are, maybe set yourself a little reminder on your phone this upcoming week to take a moment, whenever it is throughout the day, to appreciate some small success. To me, even getting out of the bed every morning is a success. So every moment is sacred. So to go along with that, we have, no matter what I choose to believe or say, the universe always says yes to me. Therefore, I choose only positive thoughts and words. This is a beautiful kind of thought experiment. No matter what I choose to believe or say, the universe always says yes to me. Therefore, I choose only positive thoughts and words. This is a really great reminder to really watch what you say and believe, especially about yourself. And the card at the bottom, as I learn to love myself, I become powerful. I feel like this is so destined that it came out because I was like literally just saying that. As I learn to love myself, I become more powerful. So what are you going to choose to believe? What are you going to choose to focus on? You have to focus in order to feel appreciation and gratitude in my opinion. But what are you going to choose to focus on this upcoming week? And possibly, maybe, you need to focus on something that is related to self-love, self-empowerment. If, like I said, if you do suffer a little bit from feeling overly critical of yourself or of other people, it may be a really great thing to focus on every day this week, thanking yourself for whatever small win that you accomplished during the day, and let that help you focus on loving yourself more powerfully. So that's a really, really beautiful message for my Virgo friends. I hope that you enjoyed that, and thank you so much for being here with me. All right, on to my Libra friends. Thank you so much for being here with me. Let's get some guidance for you. What do we need to hear, think about, reflect upon for my Libra friends? What do my Libra friends? I hope y'all are doing so well. What do we need to know let's do that again. For my Libra friends. All right, so we have a reflection card, and this one says, the smallest act of kindness is worth more than the grandest intention. And that is a quote from Oscar Wilde, who was an author. Recall a recent kindness that someone did for you. What is one way you can pay this kindness forward to someone else? Recall a recent kindness that someone did for you. What is one way you can pay this kindness forward to someone else? So this is very beautiful, just asking you to think about something kind that someone did for you. My apologies for the ambulance in the back. This is actually the second time I am recording the Libra part of this video. So lots going on for you guys. Maybe that's a sign that it's very, very important for you to sit and think about kind things that people have done for you, and also how you can be kind for others. Perhaps that is a little nod from the universe, sending the ambulance back by us. All right, so for our How to Love Yourself cards, the one at the top is, healing means to make whole and to accept all parts of myself, not just the parts I like, but all of me. That is an ultimately kind thing that you can do for yourself, starting to accept all of the parts of you. And at the bottom of the deck we had, I am good enough. I am good enough. So I feel like if I were to read these all together, I feel like this message is definitely about turning the kindness inward. What is one way you can pay this kindness forward to someone else, but also to yourself? I feel like these cards are letting us know that it may be time, or it may be a good time for you to think about a small act of kindness that you can do for yourself, something that will help to increase some good feelings, that will help you feel like, oh, I was good enough to deserve this kind thing that happened to me. That's also another way you could look at these cards, putting them together. You are good enough to receive kindness, not just grand intentions, not just nice words, but kind acts. And those kind acts from other people and toward yourself can help you to begin or continue along your healing path and to like yourself more. So I hope that this resonated with you. If you have different ideas about how these cards, what message they give you when you hear them, let me know in the comments below, and I hope you enjoyed this pull. So thank you, Libras, for being here. We're going to move on to Scorpio. So for my Scorpio friends, let's see what we have. For my Scorpio friends, let's see what we have. Scorpio friends, what bit of inspiration or gratitude, reflection, what do you guys need to hear? Let's get one more shuffle for you. Okay, so for our Scorpio friends, we have an inspiration card. And it says, I celebrate myself and sing myself, and what I assume you shall assume, for every atom belonging to me as good belongs to you. I loaf and invite my soul. I lean and loaf at my ease, observing the spirit of summer grass. And this is a quote from Walt Whitman, who is an author, was an author. Notice the beauty of connecting with others today and the gifts it gives to your soul. That is so lovely. Notice the beauty of connecting with others today and the gifts it gives to your soul. The beauty of connecting with other people who are at the similar vibration as you is truly, truly one of the greatest gifts, that I have personally experienced. There's nothing like some good human connection, even from a person who is perhaps a little bit jaded feeling sometimes, if I'm honest. All right, so let's go ahead and check out what the Love Yourself cards have to say. Without my past mistakes and all, I would not be here today. I love myself and my willingness to learn and grow. Without my past mistakes and all, I would not be here today. I love myself for my willingness to learn and grow. So from the bottom of the deck, we have, I am open and receptive to all good. So what this is saying to me is maybe it might be a good time sometime this week to connect with someone who helps you to notice the beauty in things around you. So thinking about being open and receptive, sometimes we don't feel that way by ourselves, but we can be around good people who help us to feel more open, receptive, and connected. And it's also so great just to be around people who accept you as you are. This whole card to me is just saying, celebrate yourself as you are. All of the mistakes and all the stuff, everything that you've been through has made you into the person that you are today. And that person is good enough. It's definitely good enough. Good enough to connect with other people and good enough to feel loved and accepted. I like this one. This is very, very touching to me. So Scorpio, I hope that you really enjoyed and got something from these cards. So thank you so much for being here with me. We're going to move on to Sagittarius. So Sagittarius, what do we need as a little message for our Sagittarius friends? Sagittarius friends, thank you so much for being here with me. Thank you so much for being here with me. Let's get one more shuffle for my Sagittarius friends. Okay, let's see what we have. We have an affirmation card. And it says, there is no satisfaction that can compare with looking back across the years and finding you've grown in self-control, judgment, generosity, and unselfishness. This is a quote from Ella Wheeler Wilcox. This is lovely. I recently was speaking with a Sagittarius who's very close to me, and they mentioned how as they've grown into their 50s, this person is in their 50s, that they have grown into such a level of high self-control and better judgment. So that's just a really beautiful message and personal to someone in my life at least. Make a mental map of your path through life from infancy up through today. How far you have come. That is so empowering. That is so empowering. So it doesn't matter if you're in your 50s or your 20s or your whatevers. You have made so much progress in your life. And hopefully you have a lot more to learn and a lot more time to grow. I hope that is the blessing that is upon your life. That is so lovely. So this week you may feel called to think about, if you don't have time to make an entire mental map of your path through life from when you remember to until today, maybe just think about like every decade. What is something that you've done in each decade of your life? If you're a very young person, it might be a short list, but that's okay. But think about something that you've done, some choice that you've made that has helped you to grow in some way, whatever that means to you. Whatever that means to you. So the two cards we have, my spiritual growth comes to me in ways I don't quite expect. I know I am always safe. Man, this is just hitting home, really. My spiritual growth comes to me in ways I don't quite expect. I know I am always safe. This is definitely about how you're growing, the choices that you're making. I release all blame and turn within to seek the truth. This is probably the most aligned and seamless story of cards that I have pulled all day. This is just 100% about growth, personal growth, spiritual growth, seeking to grow from your experiences. So this upcoming week, you may want to reflect about things that have happened that were perhaps maybe disappointing or required you to really challenge what you thought of yourself, what you thought of other people, what you believe to be right, what you used to believe versus what you believe now, how you used to behave versus how you behave now. Sit and think about some of those situations and think about, hey, I did a good job, or hey, this is how I could have improved. This is how I could have done things differently, or, whatever works for you. But this is definitely about recognizing and being thankful for however you have grown throughout your life. So I hope that this message was useful and good for you. This was by far the most aligned one that I have pulled today. So Sagittarius friends, I hope that was impactful to you. Thank you so much for being here with me. We're going to move on to my Capricorn friends, as I am starting to feel parched. Forgot to bring over my water bottle today. But Capricorns, we do not stop just because we're thirsty. We're going to push through. That's not the advice I should give us. I am a Capricorn, in case you didn't know. But we don't need to always push through. Sometimes we need to stop and get a drink of water. But right now, because I care very much about this. I am going to push through. So what do we need to hear for my Capricorn friends? One more shuffle. For my Capricorn friends, what is our message? So today we have an inspiration card, and it says, hope is the thing with feathers that perches in the soul and sings the tune without the words and never stops at all. This is a quote from Emily Dickinson. To feel disappointed is to have cared. Today, feel compassion for your tender heart and for the gifts of love it offers. To feel disappointed is to have cared. Today, feel compassion for your tender heart and for the gifts of love it offers. That is really beautiful, especially I think for my Capricorn friends. Sometimes the stereotype of Capricorn people, like I said, I'm one of them, so I know very well. But one of the stereotypes that I have heard or read a lot online is that we are a very cold and uncaring bunch of people. And we all know that that's not true, but sometimes other people label us with that, even though, they don't know us or they didn't have a chance to see how much we do care. It's a little bit hidden sometimes under the tough exterior, but under our tough exterior, there is almost always a tender heart. So this week, you may want to take some time to reflect on the compassion that you can send to yourself, from yourself, in times of disappointment. So hopefully nothing disappointing is happening to you right now. But if it is, definitely take some time as much time as you need to reflect on the good that you can get or see or learn from whatever is going on with you, and also taking time to show yourself some compassion, which I don't think that we often are very good at doing. A lot of us just continue, and it is okay to stop continuing and show yourself some compassion. So the top card is, I release all blame and turn within to seek the truth. So maybe some truth related to something that has disappointed you. And at the bottom of the deck, money is simply energy and an exchange of services. How much I have depends on what I believe I deserve. So I am going to take this. I'm going to use my intuition. I immediately had a thought when I read this. So instead of focusing this message really like about money, I want to focus on the bottom part, which is about what do you believe you deserve? Sometimes in the past, when I've personally felt disappointed, it did mean that I cared, but it also meant that I was caring about something that wasn't really for my highest good. There wasn't really something that was like a reciprocal situation. I felt that way at work and in personal situations. But whatever, if this is resonating with you, what is what you are disappointed about, the thing that is weighing heavily on your heart? Is it something that is less than what you deserve? Is it something less than what you deserve? And can you release any blame or like finger pointing feelings that you are having towards other people or yourself in order to release that disappointment and that hurt and to move toward something that is better aligned for you and better for your heart, something that is more caring toward your tender heart, the one that you may sometimes forget that you have. So my Capricorn friends, I hope that you enjoyed this message. I do really hope that over the next week, whatever has disappointed you becomes resolved, or you can move through it. And I hope that this message helps you do that. So thank you so much for being here with me. We're going to move on to my Aquarius friends. So Aquarius friends, what message do we need for our Aquarius friends? How are y'all doing? I do love my Aquarius friends so much. You guys are always so interesting, funny, thoughtful. I just want to say that in case no one has told you recently, Aquarius. You need to know. Okay, I think I need one more shuffle. I don't know if I've lost count or not, but... Okay, so we have, for our Aquarius friends, we have a reflection card. And we have, there is a calmness to a life lived in gratitude, a quiet joy. Let me read that again. There is a calmness to a life lived in gratitude, a quiet joy. That is a quote from Ralph H. Blum. Pause. Your thinking for a moment must stop. Take some deep breaths and allow time to slow down. Pause. Your thinking for a moment must stop. Take some deep breaths and allow time to slow down. That's really a beautiful message for my Aquarius friends. Every Aquarian that I've ever known was a big thinker, constantly like thinking of interesting ways to solve problems. Every single Aquarius person that I've known was like that. But this is your call this upcoming week to find some time to get calming your thoughts, however that works out for you, maybe through a meditation. The card that we have at the top of the deck, I am aware that I am pure consciousness. I am one with all life. I am aware that I am pure consciousness. I am one with all life. Okay, and at the bottom of the deck we have, I am my own unique self. That is something, so one of the fun stereotypes of the Aquarian folks, their desire and just effortless displays of being unique. I am my own unique self. So I feel like these cards are telling the story of a person who does need to pause their thinking, need to take some time this week to slow down, maybe do some meditation or some walking. So not just like sitting meditation, maybe some walking meditation, wherever you can find quiet and peace and joy, and start to just take a little bit of a break. I know it might be revolutionary to recommend to you to take a little bit of a break, but this week, maybe take a little bit of a break and just reconnect with whatever makes you feel connected, whatever makes you feel aware of your consciousness, your connection with the earth, your connection with other people, your connection with all life. This is your call this upcoming week to take some time to chill out, whatever that means to you, and just be with your own unique self, your own thoughts, and find some calm in that. So let me know how you plan to do that, Aquarius friends. I know you guys are always busy and on the go, but let me know how you plan to do that. Thank you for being here with me, and I hope that resonated with you. All right, last but certainly not least, we're going to do our Pisces friends. So for Pisces, what do we have as a message for the upcoming week? What do we have as a message for our Pisces friends for the upcoming week? One more shuffle. What do we have as a message for our Pisces friends for the upcoming week? So for the upcoming week, we have an affirmation card. And this card says, there is no satisfaction that can compare with looking back across the years and finding you've grown into self-control, judgment, generosity, and unselfishness. This is a quote from Ella Wheeler Wilcox. I think Sagittarius had the same card. You may also want to check out that reading as well. Make a mental map of your path through life from infancy up through to today. How far you have come. This card is about giving yourself a little pat on the back for hopefully not only enduring but thriving through whatever you have been through. But honestly, we all know that sometimes we don't just automatically thrive through adversity. A lot of times we just do the best that we can to survive. But I hope that you can recall sometimes where you have found yourself making healthier choices for yourself because you have recognized that you've developed more self-control, you've developed more aligned judgment to be able to make better decisions and such. I think I need one more shuffle. And we're going to pull the top and bottom cards. So for the top, to go along with making our mental map of our path, thinking about how we have grown, we have, no matter what I choose to believe or say, the universe always says yes to me. Therefore, I choose only positive thoughts and words. No matter what I choose to believe or say, the universe always says yes to me, and therefore I choose only positive thoughts and words. And from the bottom of the deck, we have each person is part of the harmonious whole. Each person is part of the harmonious whole. So let's take a look at all of these together. Thinking about growth, self-growth, and perhaps growing away from thinking of yourself negatively and starting to grow or becoming more aware of how you can start to grow towards thoughts, words, feelings about yourself that are more positive. I know that sometimes that can be really hard to do, especially if life has beat you up left, right, and center, had you on the ropes, had you in the prayer closet every day. If you have taken a beating and kept on going, you may have gone very far, but it may not always feel like it. It may feel like you have just barely trudged through. You've barely survived. So this may be your call, your invitation to take some time to thank yourself, to think about how far you have come. And also, if you do have a pretty rocky past or something that came up for you that you had to go through, it may be a wonderful time to start to try to think more positively about yourself, about where you are right now. You can't do anything about the past, but about what you're going through right now. And also to see yourself as part of the harmonious whole. To see yourself not as a totally just only a victim or totally only an unlucky person, but as part of the whole, which includes people who are lucky, people who have better fortune, people who have things that may be useful to you. You are deserving of a better experience. If you've had a rough experience, I just want to encourage you to believe and to choose to believe that you can definitely and you will definitely have a better experience. So I hope that wasn't too sad, but I do, no matter what we go through, I've had some really terribly sad times in my life, but trying every day, even if you can change just one negative thought to a more positive one, even if you can just become aware of the negative thoughts, it goes so far to help you to have to make better choices and to have a better experience in life as you continue to move forward. I'm just speaking from the heart. I don't know, that all just came out, came to me and came out of me. So I hope that was helpful to you. So thank you so much. If it was, leave me a comment and let me know what you think. And I'll see you all in the next video. Take care.